We're launching into the 2024 season with an underlight spectacle at Sydney Motorsport Park. The TFH Hire Services Australia Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing, stands as one of Australia's fastest growing motorsport categories, boasting an electrifying lineup of Ford Mustangs, Chevy Camaros and Dodge Challengers. Seasoned campaigners will share the track with some fresh faces, supercar stars who will take first blood in 2024. From raw muscle to custom crafted machines and everything in between, there's something here to ignite the passion of any motor racing enthusiast. With the addition of Legend Cars Australia, Australian XL Series, Australian Production Sports, Australian Super TT and Formula RX8, the excitement is palpable. It's time to fire up the engines as we welcome you to round one of the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series here in Sydney. Well, I won't say it's balmy. I will say it's crystally clear and beautiful though. Cloudy with a chance of some BAD A55 TA2 Muscle Car Series action. That's the weather forecast here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Welcome to the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series round one. Oh, that's a sexy looking situation, isn't it? Have a look at the TA2 muscle cars already on the grid, already good to go. The calendar, well, here we are, Sydney Motorsport Park for round one. We head to a really cool joint called Morgan Park Raceway, May 31 to June 2. Queensland Raceway, what a place that is. Big, long straightaways and heavy braking for round three in June 28 to 30. The Bend, the Taj Mahal of Aussie Motorsport, that place, August 30 to September 1 for round four. Winton Motor Raceway, October 4 to 6 for the penultimate round. Then we head to One Raceway, October 25 to 27 for the sixth and final round. That is a gorgeous shot. Good chance for us to have a look back at highlights next to Hi-Tec of race one and race two. Oh, Paul Hadley's going to be filthy we use that. He was doing so well too. This is his teammate Graham Cheney giving our mate Mark Crutcher plenty to think about. Really good battle too with Lee Stibbs and the defending champ Dylan Thomas in that CXC Global Mustang. This was the guy though that nobody could catch. The Herzog Man of Steel, Josh Haynes, the 20-year-old from Canberra, was simply too good. Got away to a very impressive win, much to the delight of Dad Steve and Mum Kylie. And a strong result too. Heyman has impressed me, no doubt about that. Very talented youngster out of Newcastle. Here's a look at what we had earlier today with race number two, and it was actually Todd Hazelwood who got a debut series win for himself and also for Brett Thomas's TFH Hire team, while his son Josh carved him up from 18th through to 8th. That's Michael Coulter alongside him. They melted down a motor yesterday and they replaced one today on his birthday, and he was honking. How about this? Hayden Jackson had the exhaust come out. It eventually fell off, caught on fire, melted down the battery. They've had all sorts of issues. Brad Gartner, he was melted down the racetrack. Came from 16th up into a top 5 situation. Todd Hazelwood managed to survive and take out an outstanding win over Josh Haynes, who finished second in that one. Ever wondered what it's like to do a lap around this place in a muscle car? Well, Dylan Thomas knows exactly what it's like, and we thought he might show us as well.
Welcome to the CXC number one racer, TA2 Mustang, for a hot lap around Sydney Motorsport Park. As we come onto the straight here, we go through the 4-speed dog box. Eastern Creek of Sydney Motorsport Park is a kilometre long. We try and get to the 100-metre board, about 250 k's an hour. Brake, turn in, lift off the throttle, back onto the throttle hard, about 217 k's, mid-quarter, 120 k's, hard on the brakes. Through the gears, back to first. Hit the first apex, rotate it, grab the second apex. Really important, hit the second apex to open up turn 3. Come out through turn 3, nice and straight, with a good run down to turn 4. Turn 4, a little bit of an early braking, back to second gear. A little bit of trail braking to hold the car to the right to open up turn 5. Turn 5, we'll get a good run. watching that we're not too wide, otherwise you'll get a penalty there for track limit. But going to 6 is always one of those corners that's going to give you a little bit of oversteer. But there she is. Hold the limiter up into 7. Just touch the limiter there. Little bit of brake. Hard on the throttle on the exit. Back to first. Big brake zone. Turn in, let's concentrate without it over-rotating. Get the apex, slow in the front wing. A little bit of a grip. And the final complex here, really fast. Okay, Todd back to second. Hit a lot of curve on the over the third section. Bit of an open, little tap on the brake, get the nose in, and get a nice good strong run onto the straight. And hopefully on a green set of tyres, you'll be doing around about a 1 minute 33, but you're really good at 1:32. And you'll be pretty stoked with that.
And if you're paying attention, it's very important to take your dad pants off. I don't know if you caught the little sticker on the dashboard. He's a great character. Here's your grid, folks. Race number 3, Hazelwood and Haynes, Thomas and Gartner, Stibbs and Crutcher, Jackson and Thomas, Coulter and Cheney. That's your top 10. Keem and Roberts, Tankate and Reedy, Hadley and Kelleher, Ramsey and Heyman. Kim Jane joins me in commentary for race number 3. Tom Heyman had gearbox issues. Unfortunately, he's starting off the very back. We'll keep an eye on the hard-charging Nova Castrian. Likewise, too, Graham Cheney had no 4th gear in his previous race, so he was lacking a lot of momentum in critical junctures. Hayden Jackson, the car caught on fire after the exhaust fell off and it burnt the battery out. He's had better days.
He certainly has, mate. He was sitting in the car panicking as everybody was driving out. So fantastic he made it out there for this one.
He sure has. Rolling start here at Sydney Motorsport Park. Race 3, we'll have one more later tonight. We're going to ride on board. That's Josh Thomas in the TFH higher entry. Josh was impressive earlier. 18th to 8th. And we are ready to go. Hazelwood and Haynes, Thomas and Gartner. Gartner came from 16th up into 4th. Hazelwood, they come up very slowly. Waiting for the gear change and we're away. Wow, look at Gartner down the outside. Thomas went to the inside, they swapped Haynes. Gartner takes the Hi-Tec Oils Camaro around the top. Haynes will try to stick it to the inside. 3 wide into turn 2. Get a wriggle up then from Haynes. He settles the ship. Thomas squeezes by on Gartner. Stibbs is in there as well. Crutcher in that bright yellow Mustang. Ooh, we got through, Kim. I was worried.
3 turns through, Wado coming into 4.
Gee, Thomas, he has really caught fire. Not like Hayden Jackson in a more positive sense. Really, oh man, was there contact? Yes! Oh no, I think it was Cheney and Jackson. We were just talking about the horror run that Hayden Jackson has had, and I think there was contact between he and Cheney.
Definitely looked like something's gone on there.
Hazelwood out to an early lead. Crutcher. Sleek is Crutch. He's dropped a few kegs. Look at $1 million, albeit in loose change. Oh, wow. Really good run there with Stibbs coming after Crutchy. Then go back to Cheney, then Coulter. Then Heyman. Heyman's had a heck of a run. Wow. Heyman is up to 9th, if we read that correctly. Josh Thomas, Danny Reedy. A lot of sprint car people tuned in today to watch out Demain Ramsey and Danny Reedy go. Hello to Tanny McKean and Alistair. Tan, you got this and we love you. Cheney just ahead of that battle. Heyman in that DePrinzio concrete entry is flying. In behind him is Coulter in that Terps bright pink Mustang. Keem on Reedy. Out of Canada in New South Wales is Greg Keem. May have run a bit wide there. To be interesting to see whether Danny got him back or not. Over the hill, we head down into turn 4. Oh, man. Hayden Jackson, you know all too well. Kim Jane, you're one of the team managers with the Dream Team. Big donut. they never give away what's happened, do they?
No, they don't, Wado. I think, unfortunately, his exhaust was hanging back out again, so back to the drawing board.
Oh, no! Big lock-up. Stibbs. How do you like your T-bone? Medium rare? There's 4 cars in this. Wowzers. What a battle we got going on here. Crutcher. This is going to be interesting. Oh, man. What is the go there? That was Heyman. Coulter got back by. It's a pub brawl, Kim. Takes me back to the old Ute days.
Yeah, I think the elbows are out, Wado. They're all having a red-hot crack here.
There is Cheney to the left in the 51. Paul Hadley Developments, Camaro. We've got Crutcher in front, Lee Stibbs. There is Coulter. There is Heyman. And in behind then is Josh Thomas. So this is a great battle pack, and it's on for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And there's the Maitland Glass. And the exhaust again. It basically fell off in the previous race, and the car caught on fire, and they melted down the battery as well. Is that a Barry Crocker? The Arrow 66 of Stibbs. Man, he's really got the bow and arrow out.
Yeah, he's under the pump now from
Heyman.
Yep.
Heyman's been doing a pretty handy job. He had some issues, unfortunately, with the gearbox in race number 2, so he's very keen to get some points back up. Hazelwood is currently your points leader for the round by 4 over Haynes, Dylan Thomas, Brad Gartner. And you go back to Mark Crutcher and Graham Cheney. Man, that's a big lockup from Stibbs before. Wow.
Yep, and Mike Crutcher hung on to it on the outside.
He'd be filthy, the unofficial mayor of Young. Sissy Heyman trying to come back as well. Race 3, lap 3 of 8 at Sydney Motorsport Park. Oh, Heyman. You can see Thomas is closing in. Well, Heyman's going to get him. Wow. Oh, no. What is the go here? Yikes, that was close. Is that Hazelwood?
That's Todd.
Think your race leader. Unbelievable. Hazelwood gets off the racetrack. What has gone wrong with the 111? From the penthouse to the outhouse.
I wonder if it's a gearbox.
That is incredible. He certainly had them covered. That gives the lead back to the man of steel. So it's Haynes, Thomas, Gardner, Crutcher, Cheney, Heyman, Stibbs, Coulter, Thomas, and then Connor Roberts, the young man out of Callum Vale in Queensland. Look at this. Paul Hadley and Domain Ramsey, the CNH trucking entry. Speedway team owner and racer in sprint cars, speed cars, and even late model sedans is that man in that black and blue Chevy Camaro. Heyman coming after Graham Cheney now. Heyman looking to make up some points after a shocking run in race number 2. Matty Kavanagh, talk about a hectic race number 2, mates.
Mate, it's all on the line, isn't it, coming into race number 2? I'm here with Hayden Jackson, a tough night in the office, mate. Looks like the exhaust problem again. Yeah, underlying exhaust issues that we've had all weekend, mate. It's just failed again. So unfortunately, we thought we'd pull it in rather than melt everything again. A couple of scuff marks on the other side too, so it's been some contact. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I have to look at the footage and see what happened, but just the car on the inside I didn't see, and I don't know whether I turned down or whether they went for a gap that wasn't there. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. Well, there we go. Hopefully we'll get a smile on your face in the final race. Thanks, mate.
And to clarify too, when I said race 2 to Matty Cav, it's race 2 for today, race 3 for the weekend. We had one race yesterday, along with qualifying, where Josh Haynes picked up $1,000 worth of Kubota cash. Very nice little payday, thanks to our great friends at Kubota Australia. Hello to Matty McKeldon, who I'm sure is tuned in. Boy, look at Heyman coming after Graham Cheney and nails him in the 30 car. The stang on the Camaro. That guy can wheel.
He's wheeling that Chevy there.
Very nice job. You know it's a Camaro. It's a Mustang, right? Come on now. Working our way out of that turn number 2. Josh Haynes doing the job. Dylan Thomas, your number 1 man. Sitting back in that 2nd spot. Brad Gartner in 3rd. Here's a couple of Hi-Tec, oh, yikes, highlights.
A little kiss.
Well, you can't say he wasn't on the brakes.
He was trying.
He used crutch as a crutch. Oh, that's where the contact was. We wondered why Heyman actually went off the racetrack in that DePrinzio concreting entry. The reason was he kind of got into that right rear corner, and this is where Hazelwood just ground to a halt. This, wow. Stibbs.
Oh.
That was big.
That was big. That would have been big.
Could have, absolutely. That is a very heavy piece of temporary fence hire. You're not going to move that thing out of the way very easily.
Yeah, crutches under the pump.
So we're trying to find out what is the go with the 111. Matty Cav, he was our leader, and then, oh man! Sorry, mate, it's going on here at the moment between Heyman and Crutcher. Let's go down to the pits with Matty Cav.
Oh, again here with PC, just trying to find out what happened with Todd Hazelwood. Can you put any share any light with us?
Hey, just rang in and reported that no drive. We suspect it's broken what we call a jack shaft in the differential, which takes the drive from the gearbox to the rear wheels. So sorry, we're out for this one. Showing a good turn to speed, but unfortunately that's motor racing.
Oh, the TFH crew are going to be busy again after this race.
PC's got a little bit of a Brian Mannix from Uncanny X-Men look and feel about him these days. Everybody wants to work. No, not me. Heyman, meanwhile, it's got by Crutcher. And Cheney in behind him as well. Had another great song called 50 Years. And if you're in the Serco Masters class, you have to be over the age of 50 years to be eligible for that. Nick Bates is not here this weekend. Nick has been the star in that category over the last couple of years for us, including Rookie of the Year honours as well. And last year in the Serco Masters class, Mark Crutcher was third. He's trying to chase down one of these young guns who's doing a heck of a job.
I tell you what, he's driving best I've ever seen, Crutcher, is he?
No, he doesn't like getting beaten by kids. Or anyone, really. Graham Cheney right in behind him as well. Wow. Does that look like a bit of rubbing then off
Bit of
the...
smoke going on.
In behind that little battle there as well is Stibbs, who's driving around on 50-cent pieces.
He'd have a couple on the left front.
Man, look at Josh Haynes.
Just doing it easy now, Wado.
Over 4.5 seconds advantage to Dylan Thomas and that Herzog Steel. Number 37, the Allstars entry. Aaron Tebb fettled it with his brother as well, and that really cool Formula One style pit bay that they have with all the neon. Brad Gartner, we're right on board with him. That orange hire, Hi-Tec Oils. Brand spanking new Camaro. He had to start from the rear. They had power steering issues in race one. Was unable to finish, so he went to the rear and carved his way from 16th. Demain Ramsey and Anthony Tenkate. Demain growing in confidence in the CNH trucking entry. He and Danny Reedy, the two Speedway rookies in terms of TA2, just getting their head around it, Kim. It's such a different driving style.
It is, mate. The bi-spy textile radials that they run on make it a lot more difficult to drive than if you had your normal steel radials on. So they walk around all over the place, and they really drive off the rear of the tyre.
And sprint cars are direct drive, and you can stab the throttle, you can stab the brakes and turn the car immediately, whereas you have to wait for these cars when you tip them in. That was what Demain was saying. It's just so hard to get your head around. When you get into a corner, you've got to wait for the car, then get back on the throttle. But he's doing a much better job, that is for sure. We're working laps 7 of 8. We have one more race to go later on tonight around 8:55 for the fourth and final race of round 1 of the TFH Hire Australia TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hytec Steel Framing. This is Josh Thomas chasing Michael Coulter. Haynes, Thomas, Gartner, Heyman. What a steer from Heyman, Kim. Big job. Looking back to where he started in this, when you look back to the order, really did start to get that thing rocking towards the end. So nice drive and plenty of speed. Back on board with Thomas. He really wheeled that thing in our previous race. Came from 18th to 8th. Now he's trying to work over that very cool looking STM Terps Mustang. He went from a Mustang to a Camaro, and that's the ex-Hugh McAllister Mustang, Kimbo. Got a bit of pedigree. The McAllisters always keep their gear absolutely beautiful. How about this? I know with Todd Hazelwood there, it probably is not It's really a false economy, but boy, he's just so smooth.
He is, mate, and he'll be just easing up, looking after those tyres, so he's got plenty for the last race. It'll be interesting to see if anybody can take it up to him.
Dylan Thomas back there in that second spot. We know that Hazelwood will have to come from the rear. That might be quite possibly a hypercoil hard charger moment for him as well, provided there's no lurking issues. Checkered flag is out. 2 wins so far out of 3. And Kubota, #1 qualifier. And the Haynes family, very, very happy, as is Rob from Herzog Steel in there as well. Dylan Thomas will get second. What about Gartner? In the new Hi-Tec Oils Camaro. Boy, Lee Stibbs, in and out like a fiddler's elbow. What amazing. Tom Heyman, great drive from him, up to P4. Now remember, he started at the back in this one. 18th, up to 4th. That's massive.
It's amazing.
That's 14 spots. He was PI 55 after pretty well DNFing the gearbox problems he had. There is Danny Reedy and Domain Ramsey, the Speedway boys, enjoying it. Danny 11th and Domain in 12th, Kim. That's a lot for your confidence.
That should put them right up there for the last race. So they're starting off as they finish this race, or they're starting on points?
No, as they finish each race. Now there is Michael Coulter. Might be time to get on the Terps a bit later on. Haynes, your winner by 4.8 seconds. Dylan Thomas, Brad Gartner to 3rd, Tom Heyman. Ooh, man. Mark Crutcher up to 5th, Graham Cheney to 6th, Lee Stibbs, the smoking gun after that one. Josh Thomas, 8th, Greg Keem, 9th. Good job for the Gunnedah Gas man. Connor Roberts, the young man out of Callumvale, finishes up in the top 10. Danny Reedy, PB for him. Look at his lap times a bit later on and check how he went then. Domain Ramsey was 12th, Anthony 10K, Paul Hadley, Barry Kelleher, Michael Coulter and DNFs for Todd Hazelwood and Hayden Jackson. It's been busy. Ooh, it's going to be a very entertaining last race of the night a bit later on. Boy, Matty Cav, gloves are off, mate.
The gloves are definitely off when it comes to this TA2 championship. But Brad Gartner, you got a much bigger smile on your face than you did last night. Tell us, how was that race?
Yeah, that one feels good. Obviously, we've done some hard work in the last one just gone, but that one's good. If George isn't happy with that for a birthday present, I don't know what will make him happy. We've
still got one more race. We'll see how we go. Let's go to Dylan Thomas now, second position here tonight. We'll head over, and he's just grabbed me a quick drink here. It's been a little bit of work out there for you, mate. It was pretty exciting for us to watch from the sideline.
Yeah, we got a pretty good start there. I don't know what Hainesy was doing. He might have been snoozing, maybe doing a Tommy Heyman. But, yeah, no, we got a good start. And then he was really aggressive in the 2, and I went, well, hey, you know what, you want it, you have it. And I'm not sure what happened to Hazelwood, but, mate, we were pretty comfortable there, just behind Hainesy and in front of Gartner. So we're a little bit down on tyres for some of the other boys. So we looked after the tyres at the end of that one. Finally getting the car into the window. Just little tweaks to go, but we're going good.
One more exciting race to go tonight. We'll see how that goes. Let's head over to the man of steel himself. 2 wins from 3 races. Made an incredible outing for you in round number 1.
Yeah, thank you. It's been really good. I stuffed my start pretty badly. I didn't get enough rear temp, so I just lit it up. So bit of a bad start. I'll work on that. But, yeah, we were coming. Those few laps, we started to slowly close, and unfortunately, you don't like that to see having to Todd, because it would have been a good battle. So still super stoked. The Herzog Steel Mustang's really quick. Yeah, and it's good to bag some more points.
Well, let's see how you go in this final race. Will we see you on the top step, maybe?
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully we bring home the bacon. Thank you.
One of the young upcoming talents, Brad Gartner. We caught up with him early this weekend because he's got a brand new look coming into the 2024 season. Brad Gartner, 2024 is a brand new season of the TA2 Muscle Car Series, and you got a fresh new look. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've got Hi-Tec Oils coming on board this year, fresh Chevy Camaro, so really keen to get in that and, you know, working with a few new people this year, so I can't thank George, the whole Hi-Tec Oils family for coming on board enough.
Last year, there was a couple of moments there, the car had some big incidents and things like that. That takes a big toll on the budget. What's it like having a sponsor like Hi-Tec Oils come on board for this season?
Yeah, so for us last year it was probably one to forget, the first half of the year, but that's character building. Still got myself out there, obviously had a good run at Calder Park, but some big damage that wasn't all necessarily my fault. Some with a brake failure at QR and sort of that, all that sort of stuff. So having George come on board is definitely a big thing for my career to be able to continue on.
Who's carried over from last year as well, supporting you in the background?
Yeah, so we got my local guys, CatchupTV Royal Supplies, Med Electrical, Southern Auto Body, Palm family, Michael and Kirsty Palm, and Max and Kate from MP Auto and Air Conditioning. So yeah, can't thank them enough.
Now, it's not all about just having a fantastic car to start the season off, you know, fresh new car, it's all ready to go. You also got to have a little bit of help in the background now. Tim Brooks is in your garage this year. Tell us a bit about what he's doing for you.
Yeah, it's really cool to have Tim come on board. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience in these cars themselves and just racing in general, obviously with the 86 Championship and all that sort of stuff. Obviously done a lot with Dylan Thomas last year in these exact cars to win the championship. So hopefully he can bring a bit of life to my racing itself and yeah, keep on with that. Really good.
It's been a few months since we've been behind the seats in this. You had a bit of a test day recently. How did that feel in the car?
Yeah, the test day was really good. We just obviously run through the basics, all the systems checked and me getting comfortable in a different car and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was really good. And obviously in the off season we with the opportunity from Peter Robinson, we got to head over to New Zealand and run 2 rounds over there. So that was a really cool opportunity to keep myself in a seat.
So what's the goal for 2024? Like, where do you want to see yourself at the end of the season?
I'd be lying if I didn't say I'd obviously want to win a championship. Coming off the back of last year, I think any place is a good place. We just want to stay consistent, not have the car junked up. So if we can just finish every race would be a good goal there.
Look, it's going to be a big year for you. You've been obviously busy in the paddocks. You're a farmer by day. What's that like when you come off the farm and then you're at a racetrack the next day?
Yeah, it's good. I'd say it's hard, but yeah, if Dad watches this, he'll tell me online. So it's cool. We work a couple big hours, and summer's big for us with the harvest. But no, it's really cool to get to the racetrack. Feels like a bit of a holiday, but yeah, we've got to get to work as well. Well,
good luck this weekend, and congratulations on the brand new car. We hope to see the pointy end at the end of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Todd Hazelwood, welcome to the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series and the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hi-Tec steel framing. It's good to have you here, mate. How did this all happen?
Yeah, thanks, Wade. Yeah, it's great to be here at Sydney Motorsport Park and obviously part of the team here at TFH Racing. Obviously with our bit of a rocket ship here behind me with our TA2 product, but yeah, it really come up along a bit of a last minute deal. Obviously Brett gave me the phone call and said, hey, do you want to go racing at Sydney? I was originally meant to be going to New Zealand with the team Erebus Motorsport, and then yeah, my plans changed. So yeah, great to be having my backside trackside and looking forward to getting amongst it.
Todd, you had an excellent build up to this. Running last weekend at Phillip Island and running a podium in this car, top 3 all weekend. So to roll into here, you've got to feel confident.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've got confidence up our sleeve and certainly getting more and more used to, I guess, the challenges of these cars. They are a bit unique to what I'm used to in the supercar land. So certainly trying to understand what the car wants from a setup point of view. And we're starting to now get a bit of a, I guess, toolbox of operation of things that we can play with and make the car switch on. But yeah, Phillip Island last weekend was a great challenge, and I think what we learnt last weekend is certainly going to help us at Sydney here this weekend.
So Todd, supercars are phenomenal with grip, with performance, with the way they squat, with the way they brake. How do you compare this?
These cars are light and day to a supercar. They don't have the downforce, they don't have the braking capability, and they certainly don't have the grip. But to be honest, it makes the cars really enjoyable to drive. And I think the byproduct of that, the racing is super intense. It literally is door to door. You don't have to worry about aero wash as much as like you would in a supercar. So yeah, the byproduct is entertaining racing, nose to tail the whole way through. And you know, we get a little bit of brake fade, the tyres get a little bit slippery towards the end. And certainly with this, you know, this course surface, as we all know at Sydney, we're going to be managing the tyres over the course of the 4 races. So it's going to be a fascinating weekend.
Mate, you're a great story. A young kid that had dreams of doing exactly what you're doing. Has that little kid gone away, or is he just a bit more of a mature guy that wants it all?
I'm still a big kid at heart, don't get me wrong. I still love my racing. I love my cars. I'm just a motorsport car enthusiast, and that'll never change. And you know, one thing my parents always said, never forget where you come from, and you know, still trying to make sure I don't get distracted from where I come from as well. It's a big thing for me and who I believe in, who I want to be, and yeah, hopefully that never changes.
Sydney Motorsport Park, finally, as a circuit. What experience do you have here? What do you love about it? What's the challenge?
I love this track. I've got a lot of cool memories. Back in all the way 2013 was my first laps here in a Formula 3 car. I got a round win, and it's always been kind to me here. I actually had my first supercar podium here in the COVID year of 2020 when I was running with Brad Jones Racing as well. So lots of fun memories, done a million laps around here, so there's no excuses for me to not go well this weekend, I think.
Todd, thanks for your time and thanks for using the term aero wash.
My pleasure, Wade. Good to chat.
And going to charge hard because that TFH team have thrashed to get the 111 car of Todd Hazelwood back out there. There he is, way back there with Hayden Jackson. We're going to ride on board with him. What do you say, Kimbo? You think he's going to slice through?
You reckon up to position 5, Wado?
Well, I think it's a given that he's going to carve his way through a bit. He's got a few others that are pretty quick back there with him as well, though. And certainly Hayden Jackson, he has had a Barry Crocker of a weekend. Still, he fights on, and he's had the speed. No doubt about that.
Yeah, he's back out there again. Hopefully the boys have got the exhaust sorted out this time. It's
unbelievable.
Been coming loose all weekend and fallen off in race 2 this morning. So, yeah, that's why he's back where he is.
Let's take a look at how they're going to line up in the 4th and final race of round 1 of the TFH Hire TA2 Muscle Car Series, framed by Hytek. It's a good drinking game, just saying that name, I reckon. Josh Haynes will be on your pole, trying to ace 3 out of 4 wins. Dylan Thomas alongside him, Brad Gartner, the wild card right there. Tom Heyman, Mark Crutchett, Josh Thomas, Graham Cheney, Lee Stibbs, Greg Keem, Connor Roberts, doing a good job, the young kid from Callum Vale. Danny Reedy on debut with his Speedway buddy, Domain Ramsey, Anthony Tenkate, Paul Hatley, Michael Coulter. Oh, look out. Todd Hazelwood and Hayden Jackson. That is where the action is going to be. No doubt about that. What a shot. We'll roll down the hill. It's like the world's fastest bitumen water slide. Here we go. To the right-hand side is Haynes. To the left-hand side, the defending champion, Dylan Thomas, with the Anzac Spirit on the roof and the underbody blue neons. We are good. Ripping start from Josh Thomas into 169. Oh, we gather up here. Haynes, your lead up. Good run from Gartner. Crutcher too. Look at Tommy Gunn. Heyman, outside on your second row. It's like a high-speed pace lap. Too wide. Do we get sensible now? Only if we have to. That's Keem off to the right there. Working Hazelwood, storming through already. Opening lap of 12. Here at Sydney Motorsport Park. It's as cold as a mother-in-law's kiss out there at the moment, Kimmy, but racing has been fierce. Gartner coming after Haynes. Heyman in there as well. Crutch. Big dive bomb on Dylan Thomas. Back to Cheney. Did you see where Hazelwood was?
Was he up in the top 10 already?
It was like 7th or something. Here we go. Challenge for the lead into turn 9. Wow, Heyman! Heyman! Wow! Gets in, and a little bit of right side romance there for Gartner. Thomas coming after Crutcher. It is on, Kim Jane.
Well, they're leaving nothing out there, Wado. Race 4, and it's they're all running for the money.
Hazelwood is up to 7th, KJ. 7th. Gartner, he won't be happy at all. He bangs it through the box in the Hi-Tec Oils Camaro. Good to have Nick McBride tuned in, watching the coverage as well. Thomas, Crutcher, Thomas, no relation. And Hazelwood, here comes Toddy, working on the unofficial Mayor of Young. Up the inside, banging through the box. Cheney on Crutcher as well. A little bit of a nibble.
A little bit of a nibble there. He's fighting well, old Crutch, isn't he? He's doing a great job.
Well, oh, wow. I think that might have been Tommy Gunn in that number 30 car, the Stang. Watching Haynes again. Lot of pressure here now. Now, when you look at the round points, Haynes has everything to lose here if he plays rough or if he gets into a battle and wants to fight hard for it. I know your ego, it wants you to win every race, right, Kim?
Yep.
But there's a round points reality here, and Haynes is well clear. He's like 45 points clear. Heyman, bit of bump drafting.
He's getting a bit of movement out there, buddy.
Gee, that thing of Heyman, he has just been a bullet in the last 2 races.
He's probably got some good tyres left from his DNF, so mate, he'll be right on him. It just all depends on what Haynes has got left in his tyre bank.
We talked about it earlier. They call Josh Haynes now the man of steel. Well, Tommy Heyman better have a pocket full of kryptonite if he's going to be pulling on the cape of the man of steel. Gartner watching this all play out as well. Gee, it's exciting, Kim. Look at the ages of these three guys. All in their early 20s, if not only 20.
Wow.
Look at that.
Here he goes. Oh, he's going in deep. Can he pull it up?
Hazelwood is up to fourth. Oh, no!
What's he done?
There's got to be more to it than just over-braking.
That's big.
The De Prinzio concreting entry, and have a look at Mum. Kylie's like, what just happened then? Yeah, look at that. Right front is like a punter's front end.
Yep.
One each way.
Something's broken.
Boy, he was going after it.
That's a shame. That was going to make it really exciting.
I don't think Mama H could have standed it. She'd be on the red wine. I don't think she even drinks red wine. What about Hazelwood? He's up to third. That is sublime.
That is sublime from last.
That team replaced a lot of the rear end in that car. And for him to come back out and reward them now, epic. Look at this going on back here. That is Cheney. It's got Josh Thomas in there with Crutch.
Hayden Jackson's come up behind Stibbs as well.
Up to ninth.
From last.
Well, he's been saving tyres as well.
Exactly.
Not that it's a strategy. Stibbs, he's in eighth. He's got Hayden Jackson in the Dodge Challenger. The Dodgers have got a mean look about them, don't they?
They do, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Every mark looks tremendous. So, Crutch, he's desperate to pick up top three in the round. Trying to work that out at the moment, points-wise. So,
well, he'll be in front there.
Just looking at the moment, Haynes clearly leading from Thomas. Crutcher is 192 compared to Stibbs is 188. If they finish like that right now, look at this little pack. Watching Jackson. Oh, Domain. He had a big off in turn one yesterday, and it really rattled him. Because you were doing, as you know, around 250 k's per hour. They were working on the brake bias of the car, and they thought it might have been actually something in the way the car was set up. And then Nathan Hearn went through the data where Domain was on and off the brake and the gas, and he said, you're actually upsetting the car's performance by the way you're driving it. Now, Domain was, I guess, a little pleased to hear it, but a little bit rattled as well. Such a different world, bitumen racing. Domain's issue is back in the speed car or the sprint car in, and you can't do that with these bad boys. Jackson had a look at Stibbs, Cheney, Thomas, Crutcher. They run very wide just there. Almost getting a toe. Back on board with Thomas, the great Glenn Seaton. Can I bow now? What a tremendous man, an absolute icon of Australian motor racing. The Ford credit car in particular.
Exactly, that was a great car.
Wasn't it just? He'll forget that emotional moment when Glenn ground to a halt at the top of the mountain. So many times he went there and nearly had it done. Stibbs charging hard, the expatriate Englishman who lives in Adelaide in the Arrow car sales entry. Cheney. Graham Cheney. Jackson having a look at Stibbs.
Oh, what's he doing?
He's gone. That pretty well sums up his weekend.
Yeah, great spin though.
But at least the exhaust is still on. Oh, what a battle we got going on here. Josh Thomas. He is relatively, well, in fact, let's say relatively inexperienced. So is Graham Cheney.
Mate, they're all doing a great job anyway. Like, you know, this racing is top class, isn't it?
Cheney is a dirt bike racer who's really adapted with the Paul Hadley-owned team, the PhD team, recently rebranded from IES. And at the moment, there is Hayden trying to rejoin in that Rosebrook sand and gravel Maitland glass entry. Here's a look at the replay. Just got on the anchors a little too hard.
Yeah, and then locked up the rear. Maybe he's jammed in a gear.
He was about to possibly give Lee Stibbs that feeling that he gave Crutch, because it was nearly a lock-up and drive into the side situation. You know, every one of these guys that you see on screen right now has been in the sport a blink of an eye. Both these guys. Josh Haynes and Brad Gartner. Todd Hazelwood is the most experienced out of all of them in an elite level in this entire field. He's had pretty well 10 years of supercar involvement. So even though he's not been around as long as Crutcher, but then again, neither have a couple of Jesus disciples, he's got a lot more elite level experience. Go on board with Brad Gartner and the Hi-Tec Oils Camaro. Can he run down the stang of Josh Haynes? We still got about 6 to go. What a great circuit. I've got to say, Kim, the lighting at this place is remarkable.
It's exceptional, Wader.
10 Kate. Good to see him. What a gorgeous looking hot rod as well. Paul Haley right in behind him. Paul told me he was going to get some scratches on the car today. He's like, I'm going to get angry. Here we go. Has a look. He's such a lovely guy, Paul. He's a very unassuming guy. Raced Formula Extreme motorcycles for a number of years before a really big crash at Winton ended his two-wheel career. There's talk we may have a safety car coming out, and that might be because of the Jackson car. So safety car about to be deployed, and it is, because this man from Maitland, who, well, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all.
No, but he's had a shocker. What do they call it, a Barry Crocker, Wader?
Yeah, absolutely. So safety car flag and board is out. Pretty handy on the guitar, Kim, a bit like yourself, mate. Been known to murder a few Don McLean classics over the years.
Yeah, I think you accused me of doing that once before.
Well, not accused, observed. I mean, I'm no Kyle Sandilands, I'm no music critic, but so this will bring us back under caution. It'll bunch everybody back up. Let's have a look. Hazelwood has come from, now was it 16th or 17th?
17th.
No, Jackson was 17th, he was 16th. So right now, he's come from 16th to 3rd. Now remember, before, Tommy Gunn, he came from 18th to 4th.
Yep.
So it has been absolutely going on.
Josh Haynes got the tyres to hang on.
Oh, look, even if he didn't, he's going to drive it like he stole it. So I'm not overly concerned that he won't. There goes Thomas just going by. Then Crutcher. Here's a bit of your Hi-Tec Oils replay right there. He's very lucky he actually didn't take out Stibbsy then, because it drove across the track. But like you said, something's locked up. Maybe it wasn't a brake issue. We're going to take a quick break and come back with more at Sydney Motorsport Park. Don't go away. Plenty more to come. Welcome back to Sydney Motorsport Park. We're in a holding pattern here at the moment after a crash. The cool part is, with a brand new rule with all this too, Kim, is that there will be no caution flag finish, no yellow flag finish. So we will definitely finish, no matter what, on the gas for the last lap. We're going to call it the Hi-Tec Oils Hail Mary. All right?
That's a good name.
Yeah, I just came up with that. I borrowed it from the Dallas Cowboys, because that's where the original term actually came from, a Hail Mary pass, where it was just a desperado and bomb it as far as you possibly can. But oh, what a shame for Hayden Jackson. They will regroup, I'm sure of that. Heyman's going to miss the Morgan Park round, but he should be around for the remainder. There it is. So we were wondering where it had gone. The Price Engines, Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s in Newcastle, I know that. Polaris Marine Group sponsored entry. And boy, that's a shame for the DePrinzio concreting entry, because that thing was a rocket ship, Kim.
Well, he was going to the front and going to disappear, I think. That car was absolutely very quick.
And he ain't scared. There's no doubt about that. So, wow, the candles around this place are just spectacular, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, they certainly are. I'm sure the cans are going to come out for everybody at the end of this race.
Well, I think everybody's keen for a coldie, that's for sure. It's that kind of night. We got some work to do yet. We're riding on board with Coulter in that Terps bright pink Stang. Really cool to have Nathan Hearn. You can't underestimate the impact that someone like Nathan Hearn is having on these drivers. He's mentoring Domain Ramsey. He's mentoring Coulter. He's mentoring Greg Keem. So it's been a really cool thing. Greg Keem's a great story. He's got his 2 young sons on the crew as well, working on him. Toby and Jay. And he's got his lovely wife, Cindy, here as well, and his daughter. Their daughter is one of those ninja warriors.
Wow.
Light It Up Leah is her name on Instagram. She's going to Anaheim in California to compete in the World Championships for the Junior Ninja Warriors. So she can hang and jump and leap better than even you did in a Holden Ute at Darwin. And that's saying something.
It certainly is.
We're about to get back underway.
So can Hazelwood get there? Wayno.
Well, there's every chance, isn't there? He's trying to bang that Hypercoil Hard Charger Award in. There's a Willwood Big Breaker Award up for grabs as well.
Nothing to lose.
Look at Josh holding him right back. You can't go till he goes.
Josh has got the round if he can finish, but these guys are going to be going for the win.
Watch out for Gartner as well. He won't want to get passed by Hazelwood. We're back underway. Hazelwood, a bullet in the TFH Camaro. They squirm out of turn number 1, down to 2. Hazelwood has a look at Gartner. The Panola farmer is under some duress. There's Hazelwood, a real star on the national scene, trying to put it to him. Thomas in 4th, 5th is Crutcher. Swing to the left here. There's been a bit of carnage right there today. Late braking, as our great mate Ian Luff would say, the last of the late breakers. Getting to the business end, lap 9 of 12, we may possibly not get the full distance. Back on board with Gartner. Look at him boring a hole in the back of the Herzog Steel Stang. Oh, careful, Bradley. Can't open the door. Hazelwood is going to drive right through. Cheney behind Crutcher at the top of the screen. Back to Josh Thomas. I fancy maybe Josh's tyres might be a little bit mushy. Crutch still looking to run 3rd in the round. Oh! Hazelwood, and he got him! No, no, no! It has all just come... Oh, no!
Oh.
This is heartbreaking. Severe damage to Stibbs. Hazelwood's front end is broken. The brand new Camaro of Gartner. Crutch's car is in damage. Oh, man. This is not the way anybody wanted it to end. I'm not so sure that that wasn't our Hi-Tec Oils Hail Mary right there.
You brought it up.
So Todd sitting in the car, and you can just see the body language even without asking him. Oh, what a devastating way to pretty well end this. I can't imagine we're going to get to run one lap at the end in anger. This is going to take a bit of time to clean up.
It certainly is.
Hazelwood about to climb out of the car, safety car deployed. Boy, your Hi-Tec Oils Super Series has been electric the last 2 days. And certainly the TFH Hire TA2 muscle cars framed by Hi-Tec steel framing. Oh man, what a way to wrap that up. Just, yeah, it just kind of leaves you a bit, because it was really, really rocking, wasn't it?
It leaves you a bit flat there, Wado. That was all going to be on for that last couple of laps, so it's a damn shame. You know, like Crutch has done a sensational job all weekend, was looking for a podium.
I'm a bit concerned about Crutch. I think I saw the door open on that left-hand side. I wonder whether maybe there was some contact just there with possibly the Stibbs car.
Yeah, I think Stibbs.
And Mark, he had nowhere to go, and I just maybe just sending a bit of attention over into that direction. It was really starting to get hot in the kitchen. There's been multiple cars involved, and it's red flagged the event for us this race. And Kim, it was just a frantic battle up front, and points-wise, it was all to play for as well. And Todd Hazelwood was making a big play, came from back in position 16. And there was contact with he and Brad Gartner, and then Stibbs was involved and Crutcher was involved. And so race has been declared at this point. And Josh Haynes will win 3 out of the 4 for the weekend. Dylan Thomas will pick up 2nd. The defending champion, Graham Cheney, will end up being, a lot of people being elevated because of those cars that were unable to continue from that incident. So Graham Cheney ends up third. Michael Coulter in the Bowden Zone, best presented Terps Mustang, finishes fourth. Connor Roberts, the 18-year-old from Queensland, finishes fifth. Danny Reedy, on debut this weekend, will end up sixth. Seventh will be Anthony Tenkate, the veteran from Brisbane. Eighth will be Paul Hadley, both of the PhD cars in the top 10. Domain Ramsey gets elevated to ninth on debut. Canada's Greg Keem will end up in that 10th position. Josh Thomas. Josh ended up 11th out of all that, and the cars that you see from under that, Gartner, Hazelwood, Crutcher, Stibbs, they unfortunately were caught up in that incident. So coming on to that final corner of that lap, around about turns 10 and 11. Well, that's going to end up our coverage from what has been a turbulent night of action, that's for sure. It has been a phenomenal weekend for the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series, and this was some of the stuff we had earlier going on, some of the Hi-Tec Oils highlights, and it was an amazing event. Looking forward to your company when we head to our next round. Morgan Park is coming up, so is QR. There's plenty on the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. On behalf of all the team, it's Wade Orange saying good night. We'll see you next time.